I read a rumor that said that director James Gunn and Marvel Living Planet Kevin Feige actually wanted to give the original starman David Bowie a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Man, what could have been. I mean, damn it, Disney, you can travel through time. You can give us a young Robert Downey Jr. or Michael Douglas or even Kurt Russell in this movie. I mean, hell, you even brought back Peter Cushing from the dead. What, you can bring back a Grand Moff but not a thin white Duke? I'm still wondering why they haven't thought out Walt, who's buried underneath Disneyland in his cryo tube. You know, from the rumors I heard about him, he'd fit right in with Trump's America. Even without Ziggy Stardust or a half-frozen Nazi-sicle, there were cameos aplenty, and I won't give anything away about their respective roles. But the fact is, Volume 2 had cameos from Seth Green, Rob Zombie, Michael Rosenbaum, Ving Rhames, Michelle Yeoh, and even Miley Cyrus. No David Bowie, but you have Miley Cyrus. You know what? Forget it. Stupid Trump's America. Now you'll notice that some of those actors are fairly big names. In fact, award-winning actors. Not Miley Cyrus, but what that means is they can't just be bit players, right? Marvel is setting them up for future franchises. Which is something I addressed in my Doctor Strange review. This Marvel Cinematic Universe is becoming as large as the Marvel comic book universe. Now there's something both awesome and terrifying about that. It's awesome because they're delving into material that even I, a fairly avid Marvel comic book reader, doesn't know. And it's terrifying because they're delving into material that I don't even know. The gist of this really is there have to be some surprises around the corner for everyone. Even people who complain about the Marvel formula have to know that this formula, this plan, it's almost finished, which means that Marvel is going to start to take more and more chances. And therein lies one of the best aspects of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It actually surprised me. In a world where internet trolls complain about everything, we've been in that world for a while. Well, where they specifically complain about a trailer like Spider-Man Homecoming basically giving away the entire plot, kudos to the Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 advertising team for not giving anything away. The plot that we glean from the trailers and TV spots is not the plot you get in the movie. Since I'm not going to give anything away about the plot because I want everybody to go in fresh and be surprised just like I was, let me tell you about my favorite aspect of the film, and that is that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has to be the best Marvel film when it comes to development. That's development of everything. This film had so many Easter eggs, it was throwing little Marvel tidbits at fans almost every minute. And it actually sets up not only its own sequel, but Thor Ragnarok, and like I mentioned before, other franchises that I don't think anybody else saw coming. My one little complaint is it actually doesn't really do anything for the upcoming Infinity Wars films. My God, could it be a Marvel film where you don't have to watch a dozen other Marvel films just to figure out what's going on? Well, not exactly. And that's been a bit of an issue when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They really haven't found the balance when it comes to setting up Infinity War or being its own standalone film. And when you can't find the balance, if it's too episodic, there are no real consequences within the story. Hey listen, even an MCU superfan like me can be honest with himself. Unlike some fan bases, which, you know, defend this kind of stuff. Tony Stark can blow up billions of dollars worth of technology as a promise to Pepper and then come back the next film as if nothing happened. Hawkeye can retire to the family farm, but then the next film, make a joke about golfing, rejoin the Avengers as a personal f*** you to his wife and 3 kids. Now, Captain America Winter Soldier, arguably the best sequel Marvel has produced, really found that balance because not only did it reinvent Captain America, not only was it a great self-contained story, but it actually pushed the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a different direction. It had consequences. And that's why Volume 2 really works as well. They found that balance. Not only will there be consequences in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe because of the actions that they have taken, but more specifically, they worried about the Guardians of the Galaxy. They focused on their own story. And because of that, there was some real character development. My favorite aspect of this film is these characters just simply will not be the same after this movie. Like I said, it has consequences. We saw some great character development. We learned a lot about them. And we saw some new bonds in some unlikely places. Rocket and Yondu had a great bond in this movie. They got a great chance to shine. And actually, both of them kicked a lot of ass, which you didn't get enough of a chance in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoyed the sisterly relationship between Gamora and Nebula, with the latter really becoming a much more layered character and not just a super villainous. And of course, we learned a lot about Peter Quill's lineage, with Kurt Russell playing his father. And with Stallone playing a version of Starhawk, we actually get a mini Tango and Cash reunion. Can we get a young Terry Hatcher in the sequel? Oh wait. She made her choice. Yes, the character development was my favorite part of the movie and my favorite aspect of the writing. And here I go with my least favorite aspect of the writing. This is the part of the review where I go from bold art critic to old fart critic, because I found most of the humor in this film really childish. It was forced, it was obvious, and it was done to death. And by the time the end of the movie rolled around, I wasn't really laughing anymore. But here's the thing. Even though I didn't appreciate 80% of the film's humor, I still laughed out loud plenty of times. It's still a lot of fun. The film is bigger, bolder, and brighter than the original. The soundtrack still kicks ass, and the pop culture references still flow freely. However, I would still take Volume 1 over Volume 2. Hey, that's not to say this is not an earn it. Just my opinion. And my YouTube channel. Poll question, what is your favorite Marvel Easter egg in any of the films they've done previous to this? As always, leave your answers in the comments section below. But until next time, school's out. Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.